You know what most men never master? It's self-love. Not even the soft cliche Instagram type. I'm talking about the kind of self-love that actually makes you unfuckwithable. Like I'm walking through Barcelona right now, away from where I live. And life's just falling into place because it's that kind of self-love that's solid when life hits you hard, because life comes at all of us at times hard. That kind that makes you magnetic, disciplined, dangerous, because your power comes from within, not from anything external or anyone's approval. Because most high-performing men think that self-love means bubble baths and soft, feel-good affirmations, meditation apps. But no, real self-love is accountability, structure, boundaries, standards. It's how you speak to yourself when nobody's watching. It's how you show up when there's no applause. Because when you're working in life, you're gonna have to go through them quiet days and weeks and months where no one's clapping for you. And I learned this through walking through my own hell. But because before I was Mr. High Performance, Mr. Alignment, Lewis J. Murray, before I built the alignment blueprint, before the transformation coaching, before the physique and the boxing titles and the discipline, I was just a man trying to outrun his own reflection, and that's the truth of it all. But here's the truth about self-love that you won't hear a lot of people talk about, especially on YouTube, because most men don't love themselves. They like the idea of themselves and their potential. They like their achievements, they like the cars, their job titles, their muscles if they're in shape, or the handicap on the golf course. But you strip all that away, take the Rolex and the finance Range Rover off you, who are you? If I sat you in a room with no phone, no validation, no watch, just gym mirrors, nothing else to look, no numbers to flex, would you still feel proud and would you still love yourself? Would you still respect the man that was sitting there? Because that's the real test, and a lot of men can't pass that test. Because most men's self-worth and self-love is outsourced and it's rented. It's rented from success, from women, from followers, from money. And the second one of those things disappears, they crumble. Not because it's because they've built their identity on external proof instead of internal power. And real self-love starts when you stop negotiating with your own weakness and your own vices and the voice in your head telling you not to take that action today. So when you stop letting your emotions dictate your actions, it's when you look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm not there yet, but I'm not fucking quitting. I'm grateful for where I'm at. I'm excited for what's coming. That's the foundation of becoming unfuckwithable. And if you've seen any of my videos before, everything's about alignment and becoming unfuckwithable. Because self-love is a form of war. Because let's get real, most of your pain doesn't come from what others have done and what they've did to you. It comes from what you've allowed, what you've tolerated, what you've accepted. Because you've allowed disrespect, you've tolerated weakness, you've accepted average when you were born and destined to be elite. That's why you've clicked on this video in the first place, because you feel it right here in your chest. And every time you do that, your subconscious take notes. So it's recording evidence that you're not who you say you are or who you want to be. That's why so many high performers feel disconnected and restless even when they're successful, because they know deep down they're just betraying their own potential. Because you can't just love yourself if you're constantly abandoning yourself and letting yourself down. And abandonment doesn't always just mean quitting. It's numbing out for a full night on Netflix when you know you've got shit to do. It's saying I'm going to do tomorrow when it's the 5th time. It's ignoring your gut every time you know what needs to be done or what you need to avoid doing. Self-love is literally war. It's a daily battle between the version of you that wants comfort and the version of yourself that craves greatness, that deserves greatness, that knows he's destined for greatness. And if you keep letting the weaker version win, you start resenting yourself. Because no matter how much you earn, or how good you look, or how nice your car is, or how fancy your job title is on LinkedIn, it all comes down to that. And let me just relate it back to alignment, because this is exactly why I built the alignment blueprint in the first place. Because I work with all kinds of men, from CEOs to athletes, entrepreneurs, and the struggle with the same thing. They've achieved, but then they've drifted. Their mindset's reactive. Their movements are inconsistent at best, and their money, if they've got money, just feels chaotic, overwhelming, and anxiety building, because they don't need more motivation, they need alignment. And when I say they, I mean you, because self-love without structure is just delusion. But structure without self-love just turns into punishment. But when you combine both, you get unstoppable momentum, unfuckwithable momentum. And you start leading yourself from a place of power, not pain, You train because you respect your body, because you want to keep growing and keep getting better, not because you hate your body. You work harder because you love your mission, you love your purpose, you're aligned, not because you're trying to prove something. If you're trying to prove something external, you're never going to prove yourself to everybody. That's what alignment gives you. It fuses self-love with self-leadership. Because when your mindset, your movement and your money are in sync, you feel grounded, no matter where you are in the world. Because right now I'm walking through Barcelona, still coaching, still creating, still growing, because my system travels with me. And that's exactly what alignment is. It doesn't matter if I'm at home, in Morocco, in Barcelona, and here's the cost of not mastering self-love. So let's talk consequences for a second. Because when a man doesn't love himself, his entire life just becomes a coping mechanism, trying to make it through to the next day. So he overworks to earn respect, and then he overtrains just to feel some type of control, or even to punish himself. He overspends to feel worthy and good enough, and he overthinks and dulls his thoughts because he's scared to sit in silence. That's why anxiety is so common amongst high performers, not because of the stress, because they've built an identity that depends on constant validation. When you need that constant validation, you can't have it. And if you don't master self-love, you'll keep chasing women, chasing money, chasing achievements and titles, hoping that final one's going to fill the void. But I promise you it never will, because the world's full of successful men who secretly hate their lives. I've coached them, I've been him. But yeah, I've coached them kind of men nowadays and passed on them lessons, and every single one of them said the same thing to me. I don't even know who I am anymore. And that's a sad thing to hear from someone who looks successful on paper and is a successful man with a family and a good job. But that's what happens when you live life for applause instead of living life in alignment. So building self-love, here's how you build self-love as an actual system rather than just some woo-woo thing that's not actually dictatable. So you earn it through the 3 M's: mindset, movement and money. So let's really take a second to just break that down. The first M, mindset. Your inner dialogue is going to be toxic, then your life's going to follow suit and your life will be toxic too. Because you can't build a powerful life while mentally abusing yourself. You can't grow when your default language to yourself is self-hate and self-abuse and talking down to yourself. You've got to be your own best friend, not your own worst enemy. That's why you've got to reprogram your subconscious. Start with the way that you talk to yourself, consciously and subconsciously. So you've got to catch yourself when you fall into that self-sabotage mode, because I still do it to this day. You've got to reframe your thoughts, replace I can't with I'm learning, or I'm going to do it, or I'm going to find a way. Replace I'm stuck with I'm going to keep moving forward till I get it right. That's how you rewrite your identity, one thought at a time. Because until you change the way you think about yourself, you'll keep sabotaging the life that you say you want, because everybody says they want this amazing life, but they don't put the work in or believe in themselves enough to make it a reality. Next is movement. You can't love yourself and treat your body like a piece of shit, because your body is literally your battlefield. Every workout, every disciplined meal, every early morning walk, every walk reprogramming your subconscious, or walking along the beach like I'm doing now, that's proving to yourself that you give a fuck. When I train, I'm not just chasing aesthetics. Yeah, I want to look good, but I'm cultivating self-respect. Every rep is a promise to myself kept. Every drop of sweat and burning in my muscles and in my chest is proof that I don't negotiate with weakness. When it gets hard, I keep fucking going. That's what self-love is. Because when your body's disciplined, your mind automatically follows, which leads me on to the third M, money. Because let's be honest, most men have financial behavior that screams self-hate, because they earn and spend it so emotionally. They buy to impress or to try and fill that void or get some validation from people they don't even care or like. They chase income without chasing the peace, because real self-love is financial alignment. It's having a system where your money supports your mission, not just your ego. It's tracking your finances, investing into your growth and building long-term freedom, assets that keep growing and growing and growing, not into liabilities that lose money as soon as you get them. That's not greed, that's not self-respect. Because a man with no control over his money has no control over his life. But the opposite of that is also true. Because as much as you might think it, self-love's not soft. So let me say this clearly one more time. Self-love is not soft. It's about letting yourself off the hook. It's about holding yourself to a standard so high that weakness just dies in your presence. It's not about being kind to yourself. It's about being honest with yourself. Because we all know the things that we should and shouldn't be doing, that we keep putting off and keep not changing. Because when I was broke, addicted, in trouble with the police, lost, I didn't need comfort. I needed some fucking clarity. I needed to start loving myself instead of trying to just keep destroying myself. When I started to do that, that's when everything changed. That's when I started walking this path of alignment, of purpose, and of becoming truly unfuckwithable. So now I've given you the breakdown on the importance of self-love. I'm going to break you down how to really start. So here's how you start building that relationship with yourself. Number one, audit your truth. Sit down and write where you've been lying to yourself. Where are you pretending you're fine? Where are you avoiding responsibility? Because it all comes down to radical responsibility. Second, you need to create structure. Build daily non-negotiables that serve your goals. Training, journeying, learning, outreach, creating, income generating activities. Structures, love, self-love, not self-hate. Next, you've got to forgive yourself. You can't hate yourself into a better life. So learn the lesson, drop the shame, move forward. Number four, surround yourself with men who lead. You're never going to build self-love surrounded by a load of self-hating men. So get in environments that demand your highest version daily. Number five, act from identity, not from emotion. Every time you do what needs to be done when you don't feel like it, that's self-love in motion. And once you start building that momentum forward, you think, yeah, I want to keep acting in this way, keep the momentum moving forward. So quick final message before I go off, because right now I'm walking through Barcelona, life's good, beautiful, but not because I'm here, but because I'm aligned. My systems are locked in, my habits have traveled with me, my peace isn't tied to any location or any circumstance. And that's what real self-love really looks like. It's freedom. You think I could walk along a busy beach like this, talking about self-love if I gave a fuck? You can't buy it, you can't fake it, you can only build it. And if you want to start building that foundation, download the alignment blueprint. It's my free step-by-step system to realign your mindset, movement, and your money. The link's in the description. So click the link, go download it, it's free. Start building a life with clarity, confidence, and control. And if you're really serious about real change, book a power hour breakthrough call. We'll go deep on exactly what's holding you back and build you a daily roadmap to start becoming the man that you've always known you could be. Because the truth is, you don't need more success, more plates to spin, more things to do. You need more self-love, a better view of yourself. And once you master that, you become truly, completely unfuckwithable. So go download the blueprint and I'll catch you in the next video. I'm going to get back to enjoying Barcelona.